Hey guys, what is up? And welcome back to another video. Back again for another episode of Goattville Updates. Today we're over here in the city because I've recently been working on a new project for like the past 2 weeks. I believe that's the last time I did an updates video. So in the last video I was working over in the suburbs area. I was working on like some of the neighborhood stuff and like that. But I want to get, working on another project because I feel like whenever I work on like a sort of larger scale project, I get a little bit more motivated right now. I get a little bit more motivated. So I started working in the city, and I was like deciding between a bunch of different things. I held a little poll on Twitter. Go follow me, link in the description. But I decided to start working on a train station. So if you look over here, you can see some of the train tracks coming in to the city. I decided to add just a few of them, just elevated above the road, just give the city a nice, lovely aesthetic. And they go over the river. I don't know how I'm going to do the bridge yet, but it's going to be something rather similar to that one. Which I hope should look pretty good. I don't know if it's going to be too much of an obstruction, but I think it will be pretty good. And then what these tracks will do is they'll go over here, and they'll sort of turn a little bit. Actually, those tracks over there by the city might just continue going straight, but there will be some sort of offset thing. I don't think offset's the right word, but there will be this little off-ramp. And not really a ramp, but a place where other trains could go and they could like dock, or not really dock. I don't know why I can't think of the right words for anything, but they can just go and like specifically like freight trains and stuff like that have a lot of cargo. They can just go over there and sort of unload everything, while like the passenger trains will go into the city, and they'll be on the right side because that's the only way you can get to the train station, which I'll get to in a little bit. And the left side will be just for like going through the city instead of like stopping there. So yeah, this is gonna be like my next project, in a nice big rail yards area, which I think should be pretty interesting, and it'll be connected to this road right over here. But anyway, let's get back to the city, and we'll have the grand reveal of what the train station be looking like. You've probably seen it in the thumbnail, but here it is, right over here. Very nice and very lovely. Here's a little model of it, which I built before I started everything. It was originally over there, like right there, but I moved it once I started building the station. But here's just a little model of how the completed project is expected to look. So this is like a much smaller model, of course, but so the detail is not as like perfect, but this is just a relatively similar design as to what I'm planning. So as you can see, we got a nice like white curve thing going over, kind of like a nice modern just detail, just adding it for aesthetic. But here is how the sort of final product looked. It's not final yet, but it's only like halfway there, probably less than that, but this is just sort of the facade of all of it. It's right here in front of the city, like the first thing you see when you walk in. Not the first thing, but one of the first things. It's on like the first street, I suppose. But man, what was I gonna say? I don't know. I'm having a bit of a brain fart right now, but anyway, let's just go inside. Let's continue with some things. So here on the inside, as you can see, nice and open. Yeah, nice modern concept for the ground. Originally, it was just gonna be like quartz. Just some quartz blocks like these ones right over here, but those were way too small. I just thought it wouldn't necessarily fit this area. Then it was going to be like 3x3 tiles like this. But then after I filled that up, I felt like it was too repetitive, so I broke some edges and I decided to make all these dynamic shapes that interlocked together, and we got a nice, lovely little modern design. And I was a little bit skeptical of it at first, but it's actually really nice. It fits in really well. Some simple but significant detail to the ground. Definitely very useful in a situation like this. So up there we have some skylights, which is definitely necessary for a large scale build like this. I use like skylights all the time whenever I'm building like some large open area, and that's simply because it's much better to illuminate. Because if you just use something like glowstone or torches, it just doesn't necessarily look that good. I use like techniques like this over my like cathedral and the city hall. Down in Visby, we're like on the opposite side of the map, but yeah, just it always helps to have some natural lighting, and sort of keeps the environment nice and open while allowing natural lights come in, because artificial Minecraft light really isn't that strong, like not at all, and it definitely gives everything a nice clean look. So yeah, I need to fill in those. I'm a bit slow on everything right now. The main reason I haven't gotten that much done is simply because everything is just sort of like filling in, and also it's just such a large scale build that filling in is kind of like a bit of a dangerous thing to do, because if you mess up something, then you kind of have to go through and destroy a bunch of it, which will take quite a while. and then you have to go and rebuild it, making sure it's, you know, absolutely perfect. But anyway, over here, this is the place where the trains come in. So I'll have a few doors right here on the side, in which, you know, which will connect it to the interior, of course. And then here, just a big open space for the trains to just roll in. And then, of course, we got the classic yellow line running right here to, you know, make sure people aren't being a bit idiotic. But aside from that, we're gonna have this big sort of thing going over to sort of provide shelter from like rain and stuff like that. But there will also be like holes in it. I don't know if I'm gonna use glass. It's pretty sure I might. That would be like the most practical use for it. But of course, I need to let some natural light flow in, because if not, this is just gonna be like extremely dark in here, because Minecraft lighting is really not that good. Is the best way to say it. Because it doesn't matter about like light around it, it's just about blocks above that affect shadows. So, you know, you gotta make sure you adhere to that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I might just add in some windows and stuff on the roof. I don't know why I said windows. Glass is a better term. But yeah, just to give them some cover while they're waiting for the train, and also just because I need to let in some natural light. But that's basically all it is for this side, and I left this side relatively open up here on like the top part, and that's simply because I'm going to put like a big clock or something like that, and also a bunch of different like times for like departures and stuff. Actually, not too sure about the clock, because I don't think it will really fit in a space like this. It doesn't seem like this area doesn't necessarily scream clock right now. But I might try out a few designs, you know, of course modern, and we'll see how that looks, and I'll decide whether I want that. Aside from that, here we have just a few stairs connecting the main ground to the level of the platform, and then right here I have a few spaces marked out where we're gonna have stairs going down into the ground, which should be quite an adventure, because I'm gonna have to dig out everything, which will probably require TNT. So that's probably not going to come for a while, but that's basically what the subway system is going to be. And then we're going to have like a subway just running out through the city, just a few stops everywhere, every now and then. I'm not going to like fill this entire place up with a subway system, because that would just be way too annoying in simple terms. I would just be like one running around like the perimeter and like in the inside of it, so it shouldn't be that much, and that's not really an immediate thing that I'm planning on working on right now. So yeah, the subway system's on a bit of a hold, or for a long hold. But aside from that, I think I just realized what I brain farted about a while ago. But over here, as you can see, we got the ruins of the stadium. The stadium is something which I built, it was like 13 months ago was when I started construction on this, and it stayed up for a little bit. I've got about not really halfway done with the whole project, maybe like 5% done the whole project, but I put down the field and I had some seats going around, and it was looking really nice, because I like got the lighting perfect and everything was nice and curved and everything. I took a lot of consideration into like the whole just layout of everything. But this is a kind of a copper residence situation, the whole football stadium was, and if you don't know what it is, it refers to another build in this world, in which I was like so ambitious to build something, and then I didn't necessarily take other factors like the surrounding environment and also how it would sort of be used in just this area, and just it wouldn't necessarily look that good. So that's basically what that whole thing was. I just didn't think it would work that well in there, so I thought a train station would be a much better fit. And we will do another stadium somewhere around here, but I'll make sure that I put it in the correct spot this time. So we do have a nice parking lot right in front of here, which I will definitely keep. I'll probably shorten it down a little bit because that looks like really unproportional, so I gotta go and fix that. I'll probably have a road running right through here, right along the side of it, just so it kind of like balances everything out, because I don't want, a big open space next to the train station. It will kind of make it look a little bit weird in there. I kind of want to make it nice and centered within two roads. That's definitely a good thing to add. But aside from that, really have nothing much done. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that on the right side when you walk in, this is basically going to be like restaurants and other utilities and stuff like that, to which I have not yet built, but it would just expand out to here where we'll have a bunch of other different stuff. Alright, so now for the second part of what I was planning on mentioning in this video. So basically this sort of second part is just going to be a little bit of a demo kind of thing of a sort of video style which I'm planning out. So if you're sticking around a little bit of an inside look as to what I'm sort of planning on doing. So if you've been keeping up with my last few videos, you might realize that I'm kind of trying to make updates videos a little bit less frequently, simply because I feel like constant updates videos is a bit repetitive, and also adding small things one on top of another, it kind of makes progress seem like it goes a little bit slow over here in Goattville. So I'm kind of planning on adding like some sort of building type videos to my channel, where I just like sort of build, and you'll see a little example of it right now. Basically, I have like a bunch of sped up stuff for more repetitive things, and whenever I start working on some more intricate stuff, it'll sort of slow down a little bit, so you can get more of a interesting perspective of how I go about building this instead of just me showing off it, because I feel like this will be a lot more of a better series. I've gotten a few requests to make a sort of building series, and I don't really want to make like 30-minute building episodes or do a bunch of live streams. That's simply because it takes up a lot of time, and I also find it rather difficult to sort of fill in that much space with like proper entertainment material, if you know what I mean. So I feel like doing these sort of, time-lapse videos, I guess, and along with like some other stuff in there, might be a better way of handling things, and just having like a simple commentary over it, where I'm talking about like plans and stuff like that, and how I'm sort of going about things over here in Goattville, and the whole building process of things that I go about. So it's going to be a bit more dynamic than this, because right now I'm just going to have like two different cuts. Right now you can see me doing a bunch of sort of repetitive things like filling in the roof, which you saw during the episode, because I actually recorded this before I started the video. So yeah, this is kind of how the more standard repetitive stuffs will be. And then when it gets to more intricate stuff, which you can see right now, I'll have a nice lovely little fade, and I'll start talking about that. I'm like working on some of the trees and the lampposts in front, doing some more just simple intricate work. Okay, that was a bit weird. Cut that out. But you can see like I'm working on some artificial trees, so in case you were wondering on how I sort of went about that process, you can see me just in simple normal time kind of planning everything out. So these videos will probably take a little bit of extra time to make, but that's definitely no worry to me or any strain, because believe it or not, I put a lot of work into the updates videos, not into the videos, but just into the Goattville part of it, because I spend like most of my time doing that, and I feel like putting some more time in the videos will kind of balance out the time lost in working on Goattville. So I feel like doing that will improve the quality of my videos, as well as just keeping things rather stable. I do have the next week. I have like a lot of time next week to be able to do a lot of things, so I will have another video out next Friday in the style. So stay tuned for that if you want to see a bit more of a long version of what I'm sort of planning on doing. They're gonna be like 30 minutes, probably not 30 minutes, but maybe like 20 minutes long, in which I'll just have building videos in like a style like this. Instead of just me, building things like a Constructing Los Angeles episode, it will be a bit more of a post-commentary Constructing Los Angeles episode. So yeah, leave me suggestions on sort of what things I could add to those videos, because everything's still sort of a little bit of a plan. My channel is kind of sticking to the same sort of genre, but getting a bit more experimental on sort of how I plan on going about different videos and stuff like that. As you can see, I like done a few tours and stuff like that a few episodes back, and I feel like that will be another interesting thing to add, because I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs by the end of the month, and I'm at like 907, which means I have like a month and a half to get, like 93 subscribers, which I think I have done before over the summer, but December is kind of a bit of a slow time in the YouTube algorithm, so I got to sort of increase production if I am to hit that goal, which I set at the beginning of the year, because that was my original sort of original thing that I wanted to hit. I don't know the word for it right now, but anyway, this is basically what I've been planning to do. I'm really tired right now. I don't know if you can tell that from the videos and like the way I'm talking or just anything in general, but yeah, that'll be it for this video. I'm going to play some Battlefront 2 now, and I will see you all later. Bye.